Ruben, in a game where your players needed to be up for the fight, you came from behind to get a point. Were you pleased with what you saw?
I think we played well. I think we had more control in this game that we show against Wolverhampton, and that is also important when you prepare the next week. You can learn with the mistakes that we show in the last game. I think we control quite well the team of Leeds, the team that is really strong on set pieces, on second balls, really quick in front. I think we control well. We had our opportunities to win the game. Of course, we are losing games in the details. The goal of Leeds, we are controlling the game, and one kick in the ball in transition, but we managed to get back to the game. Last year would be completely different. This year I think we are in control of the games more often than last year, so was a good game, but of course a little bit frustrated for not to win.
You're having to use so many young players. Do you almost have to accept that mistakes will be made, like with the goal you conceded?
No, of course, if you look Aiden and Lenny, they are really young also, but it was not because of that. If you play so well during 90 minutes, you have mistakes that can happen with Aiden or with Harry Maguire. That is really experienced. That things are going to happen. If you look at the game, we have chances to score the second one, to win the game, and nobody would be talking about the goal of Leeds.
With so many of your creative players missing for various reasons, how much did you need Matheus Cunha to deliver today?
Yeah, not just him. I think Josh played well the 20 minutes that he played. Ben connects really well the game today. I think Ugarte is playing better. Ugarte is showing that he has more to give, and I'm really pleased for Ugarte. So if these guys play well, we have always the chance to win the game.
You said that Xerxes did well when he came on. Does that show that he needs to stay at United?
It needs everyone needs to focus on United. This is one of the best clubs in the world. If you are here and focus on in a different club, something is wrong with you, but that's okay.
You said that you don't expect there to be any change to the squad this January in terms of ingoings and outgoings. Is there room for a conversation with the hierarchy for that to change?
Just focus on the game. Let's prepare with the game, with the players that we have. I expect to have some minutes of Bruno, Mason Mount, maybe. So we'll see. So we have more too with the quality that they have. So they are players ready to help us.
Bruno and Mason for the next game.
We'll see.
Thanks, Ruben.
Thank you.
Matheus, after a disappointing draw against Wolves last time out, how important was it to move quickly on from that and come away from here with a positive result today?
Yeah, of course, after this game against Wolves was a little bit sad for us. Of course, we want to win every single game and then have a big opportunity to step in the top 4. But yeah, of course, we need to keep going. After this draw, come here is not easy. And we know how big is this game for everyone. But it's good to have a point here also.
It looked really physical out there. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, it was so hard. We know what they expect to come to bring to the game, and then of course for them they try to do everything to win. Also, in the pitch have a lot of scenes, so it's hard. Have a lot of scar now, but yeah, of course, every single game when we use the shirt is to give all, and then today was not different.
Your equaliser came less than 3 minutes after they went in front. How important was it to get the goal then to prevent them from getting any momentum?
Yeah, of course. So far a goal is very important to go again, and then we need to hold all the power to go. But yeah, after we scored 3 minutes, it gave us a little bit kind of positive things to go again, and then yeah, we did everything. We tried to do everything to win this game, but yeah, we hope the next one come with 3 points.
With so many creative players missing for United right now, have you felt more responsibility to get on the score sheet?
Of course, to use the shirt, we have already the responsibility to give everything to them, but it's not more. Of course, when everyone is here, we can have everyone to create it with me, and then help a lot to create a lot of good things. But yeah, with this team, then we have a bigger character to come here and then to draw this game. But yeah, of course, you need to keep improving and then try everything in the next one.
Well done. You're today's player of the match. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Important for United at the moment, in the absence of Ahmad and Bruno and Mbermo and Mason Mount, that this fella stood up today.
Well, it definitely is. I mean, they need more like him, don't they? And they went proven over the summer, getting Mbeumo, getting Cunha, which I thought was the right thing to do. They took a couple of risks as well, going to the foreign market, Šeško being one of them. But yeah, with all those names that you've just mentioned, it was always going to be tough this time of the year because everybody knew AFCON was coming, so a couple of players were going to leave anyway. But then you add in injury suspensions this time of the season as well. So, listen, if Manchester United are going to have a good season, it's going to be down to, you know, a handful of players, and he's one of them. He's so important to this team. They haven't really got so many great attacking players, creative players, so you need them all ready, available and fit. And at the moment, he's probably the only one that you would say is a real talent that would start no matter what. So, of course, the pressure's on him more so, or the responsibility is on him more so. And he delivered today, you would say.
He had to equalise after Leeds had taken the lead. The tails were up at this point when Aronson scored.
Yeah, Leeds were sort of came out of nothing. It's just a clearance, I think, that goes in behind, and we're watching it and we're thinking there's no way he can get there. And then Brendan, he just somehow gets in, and it's a great finish, to be fair. And you know, just what Ellen Road probably needed at that point. And as you say, Leeds then had their tails up, and it's just a real shame that they couldn't, you know, see it out for longer and sort of keep Man United at bay. But you see here, Aronson, he probably doesn't believe he can get there, and then he manages to do it. And you know, it's a great finish with his left foot. Something he's probably not known for is using his left foot, but you know, he does well to take his first touch across the defender and then slots it away.
That's the key, isn't it? It takes heaven out the game by cutting across him. It's textbook, you know, attacking play, that is. You know, direct to goal, but taking the defender out by cutting across him. And then that angle, that distance out, it's always a lovely combination. You always get a big gap from that type of angle. And he slots it home well. Just wonder, heaven, I thought he reacted quite slowly. Didn't get into his stride quick enough. He's miles behind his man. Ahead of his man. I mean, he plays the ball there, and then he drops into a real safe position as well. He's miles ahead here. I just think those first 3 or 4 yards, he almost...
I don't know if he sees him.
Well, exactly. I think he's a bit lackadaisical.
Yeah. He would have run quicker if he'd seen him, surely.
You'd think so,
well, you'd think so. You can't really see it from this angle here, but it's just there, that glance. He realises, and then by that stage it's too late. As Michael says, he's just reacted a bit late.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, Leeds led for only 174 minutes, but just 2 minutes prior to the equaliser came a significant moment. They introduced Joshua Zirkzee, who, as you said, was rightly hauled off at half-time the other day. Wasn't picked today. He had a hand in the equaliser, and he really did have a hand in the game from then on.
He did. He showed some really lovely touches. I thought it was a very, very well-worked goal as well. I don't think the Leeds goalkeeper handled himself in glory there. But from a Manchester United point of view, the 3 attacking players, we link them all. Though Leeds will be pretty happy with where they all are at the moment, but you get this natural thing that we see quite a lot of the time, the middleman coming out, in this case Šeško, and then runners from the outside, in this case it's Cunha, and Zirkzee just drops in to play the ball to all 3 of the attacking players. Now, I think the goalkeeper, if he stays back, he saves this. I mean, Cunha's stretching, he's sliding, he can't get enough power on the ball anyway. He's in an okay area, but you really need everything in your favour to be scoring from that angle. And the goalkeeper's just gone and made it easy for him. I think the goalkeeper he basically gives them the goal there. But Zirkzee's weight of pass, the bend on the pass as well, outside of the defence, curling back towards the goal. It's a lovely ball. And as I say, when he came on, he had some real touches. And I just really, I don't know, praise to him, really, because imagine his mind at the moment. He mustn't know what's happening. He scores a goal, gets dragged off at half-time, left on the bench, then come and save us again, bring you up. He must be thinking, does he like me? Does he not? I'm scoring, great, a lot of confidence. Oh, get dragged off. You know, there's so many things that must be going through his head.
And we were talking about how both managers, well, all managers can be stubborn, but actually Manchester United went 4-4-2 then, when they brought Zirkzee. Just for a little bit, caught Leeds by surprise. Leeds struggled, I think, to adapt till the change in formation straight away. Zirkzee coming on obviously caused them big problems. And you see there, looking back on it now, that's what we're here to do, but like, Bijol goes in, and as soon as he goes with his man, Cunha recognises that the space is there. It's an intelligent run from him. You see again here, the ball comes into Šeško, and Bijol going in straight away. Cunha, he sees the space and he's in behind. But I'm with Michael here. The goalkeeper is in no man's land. You either come
and you come all out or you stay. He doesn't even need to come because Bornau's there. And Cunha, as you say, he's stretching for it. For me, it's a total disaster from the goalkeeper, from being honest with you. Doesn't need to come out, and you get punished at this level.
And it could have possibly been a little bit better for Manchester United, a couple of chances, but again, Zirkzee was right at the heart of this, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he showed some really nice touches, and this advanced position, again, he's just coming across the front of players there, making things happen, getting involved. He tends to work well in that position, and again, not just resting on his laurels, then making a run. Šeško here, again, doesn't do so much wrong. Needs to open his body, which he does. He opts with the right foot and opens it out. It's not an easy chance. I mean, he probably scores 1 in 3, 1 in 4 there. But and then Cunha again hits the post. I don't know, if that nestles into the bottom corner, you'd be surprised. I think the goalkeeper's got that one covered, to be honest. But still, another close effort. And things started happening when Zirkzee came on. I thought he did really well.
Pirro came on late for Leeds as well. He had a little flash at goal at the death.
Yeah, he did. And Pirro, he's had to bide his time. He hasn't had too many opportunities this year. And if you asked anybody at the club, they'd probably say that he's the best natural finisher that they do have.
Championship top scorer.
Yeah, so if you wanted anybody in that position, it's probably him. He's just a bit unlucky. It's an intelligent strike sort of to take it first time, trying to catch the keeper unaware, and it's just a bit too high.
So it finished 1-1 between Leeds United and Manchester United. Stay with us. We hope to get some more reaction.
I think so. It was quite a hard-fought game. It really came to life at the end. I think if we had that intensity we got in the last 5 minutes, it would have been an even better game. But I think for United to get back in so quickly, that was so important because you felt like Leeds were really starting to build something.
They really did as well, pile on the pressure in the last sort of 5-10 minutes of the game too.
Yeah,
Leeds,
it was a proper derby. It was kicking off in the last 5 minutes, and that's what you kind of want to see. Everybody was competing, tackles flying in, and I thought the game was quite tight throughout the whole contest. Really, possession-wise, shots-wise, it was tight. But the last 5 minutes, it just felt like there was a bit of edge to it. Yeah. And to be fair to the manager, Daniel Farke, he put some subs on. He wants to be positive and be aggressive and try and win the game. And they almost did it, Leeds.
Yeah, for Leeds as well, it shows how far they've come as a team, not just under the guidance of Daniel Farke, but that they're promoted to the Premier League and also can hold Manchester United to a draw.
Yeah, I think that's the belief that they've got at the moment. They feel they can go toe-to-toe with anyone, especially here at Ellen Road. The confidence, we could feel it when we were here before kick-off. They were so confident going into the game, but they just weren't quite able to execute like we saw them after the game. They were so disappointed they didn't get the 3 points today.
Yeah, they're on an unbeaten run of 7 games. You can see they're on your screen now. Let's have a look at the first goal, Brennan Aronson, and how he managed to score it and how it was built up.
But he's such a good player technically, and he just gambles. He just sees this. The weight to the pass, Joe, is amazing, and the finish, Joe, is perfect.
Yeah, on that left foot, see Pascal just strokes it into his path here. Heaven just caught out of position, but Aronson says, "I'm getting to that ball." Gets himself in front, makes it impossible for Heaven to intervene here. That little arm movement there,
so clever.
Whilst you're in the box, perfect position, but to left foot dead weight it past Lemon's, really good finish.
He does so well there with 3 players around him. So for that composure, Owen.
Do technically he's a really good player. He's really good on the ball. He's a number 10 and he wants to get on the ball. But actually, one of the most important things is making runs in behind. And he just has a feel for that moment. Joe makes a great point. The touch across Heaven allows him to finish, and the finish is just perfect.
He's been given a heavy amount of criticism in the past, which Daniel Farke has come out and explained. Look, yeah, he frustrates me sometimes too as well, but he doesn't think that criticism necessarily is warranted. He's shown Daniel Farke that he's versatile too, and he can play in many different positions and give him what he needs.
Yeah, he's a quality player, and he was probably our pick man of the match. Obviously, Lucy's gone with Cunha, but he was all over the pitch. He puts himself and his body on the line, but it's always nice to top it off with the goal, with the assists. He's got, I think, his top assists in the team this year, and to get his second goal, really important for him to keep building.
Yeah, it didn't take long for Manchester United to equalise, did it, Owen?
No, and to be fair, at that point you thought, this could be a really long day. Zirkzee comes off the bench, and within a minute and a half, completely changes. Šeško does really well, comes in short, sets it. Cunha runs in behind, and the way to pass, Joe, was brilliant.
Yeah, I think everyone's turned straight to me. What's Perry doing where he is? But it's just the weight of pass. Finally, a good bit of build-up play. Šeško laying it off. Zirkzee, that timing just sucks him out, and once he's out, he makes Cunha's mind up. He's on the stretch. I think if you look back at this, when you go into the analysis room on Monday, you're going to say, did I need to come? But I think it was just such a clever ball by Xerxes and a really good finish.
I think United look better when they do that, when they play a little bit quicker. Sometimes people take too many touches and try and carry the ball through the midfield. Just play quick, a little quick set from Sesko. Yeah. Cunha makes a great run, and from Xerxes, it's a great ball. And I think when they play quickly like that, United look more dangerous. He
was the only change today for Cunha and Amorim. Should he have started?
I mean, look, every time he plays, I think he makes something happen. You know, I think he's a good ball player. You know, and when he gets on the ball, he makes things happen. You know, I think he's a smart player. He's a ball carrier, and he made a huge difference into this side. You know, and he opens things up. He gets into good positions, and we said before the game, get bodies in the box. He allows you to do that because they get bodies up there in numbers. And I just thought he gave the team technically something which they didn't have in the first half. Dorgu was playing in that position. That's not his game. He's a left back or a left wing back. Xerxes, I thought he had a big impact on the game.
Yeah, I think he played well with Sesko. Sesko's looking for those one-touch passes. He's looking for predictable play. And I think that he allowed him to come into the game. Sesko looked a lot more comfortable when Xerxes was with him.
Is this about where Manchester United are, where they're playing a team in Leeds who are fighting to make sure that they can get themselves away from the drop zone? They come here and they manage to pick up a point. Is that kind of where they are at the moment? I know where they are in the table is a lot higher when you look at it, but in terms of their form and their ability...
Well, I think momentum is everything. You see that with Leeds, 7 games unbeaten, and they believe they can go anywhere. After what happened against Wolves, I think United, you'll take a point here. You know, the way that they played, the way they performed, the result that they had against Wolves. They're still in a good position, and I think obviously when Bruno Fernandes comes back and you get Mbeumo and Ahmad, this United team with no European football, I think they'll probably finish in a Champions League place. I think they'll finish in the top 5. They're the only team without that weight of European football, but they need the boys back from AFCON, they need Bruno Fernandes, and then they can go on a little run.
Yeah, let's have a look at the late chance from Leeds, because as I was saying earlier on, they really started to pile it on in the final few minutes. This was from Puru.
Yeah, it was obviously a great impact from Xerxes. Puru, I think this is his first touch. He opts to take it first time, and we were behind the goal at this point, and I thought that's going in. I usually can call it, but just dips onto the top of the bar. Lamens is absolutely stranded. Yeah, great effort.
But if you think about the subs that they made, Puro or Tanaka or Nemecha, they were really positive in the fact they were trying to go for that winner. And I'm sure the manager, he's come to join us now, I'm sure he'll be quite pleased, I think, with that point.
I hope so. He's making his walk over here, and while we do wait for him to wander over to our position here, pitch side, we must talk to you about where they are in the league table in case you missed it. They're now 8 points clear of the bottom 3. There are teams that have come here and not managed to get much out of this. The Palace, Liverpool, Chelsea and now Manchester United, they've made this a very difficult place to come. And when you consider exactly where Daniel Farke has brought this team and how difficult the beginning of the season is, it is quite the job that he's doing. He's also doing it with a completely different philosophy compared to the start of the season. That's a difficult thing to do with a team when they are in the doldrums. So here he is getting his microphone. I'll ask him all of those questions. I can put as many words in his mouth as I like, but nothing will quite be as factual as Daniel Farke's comments. Daniel, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Just sum up how big a point that was for your team.
Yes, if you play Man United as a newly promoted side, it's always a good point. We don't have to speak about it. Also a good point, I think, was probably not our best game today. Football-wise, was a bit scruffy at times, and you could feel also today that yes, a few key players were out and we were a bit tired today. Nevertheless, we found a way to be there with good defending behavior and also to force more or less the opener, and would have taken all 3 points. So for that, I'm a bit disappointed. But if I come down, I have to say probably it's a fair result. Well,
that's it. Does it show how far your team have come just this season alone that you're disappointed with a point against Manchester United?
Probably you're right. So that's definitely for sure. Yeah, it's a good point in the end. So when the dust is settled, so another point on our tally, and also extend the gap a little bit. Also important to stay unbeaten, to show again resilience in a difficult situation for us in this game today. But yeah, I'm still a bit disappointed that it was not 3 points.
Daniel, what's it like keeping the team so balanced and so calm? Because I was a bit aware of that. I came to Ellen Road today and there was a real feeling that you could win the game and a real excitement that will go on in this stadium, which is a great thing. It's obviously important that you keep that hunger in the team.
We need to play today with fire in the heart but cool in the head. You know, it's difficult when you have such a schedule and you always have to go over the line if you want to come away with a clean sheet away at Liverpool, and 2.5 days later everyone tells you, by the way, it's the most important game in the last 3 years, and everyone is super excited, and many key players are difficult. So it was important today really to play aggressive with intensity, but also not to lose the nerves and find a good balance. I think football-wise was definitely not our best game today, but another valuable point.
It felt like you made some really positive subs, brought some attackers on at the end, and it felt like the game was there to be won. You know, they were quite positive subs considering the scoreline at the time.
Of course, it was a bit risky because you could feel lots of load in the last week's own, and yeah, we were rock solid also in the back five, but nevertheless, the gut feeling was we want to go for it, and yeah, we will never be happy just to park the bus, and for that, I brought more or less 2 offensive thinking players in, changed the base formation to forward formation. It's of course a bit risky against the side with the quality of Man United in their offensive positions, but I think it was the right call, and nearly we won the game then even after the equaliser.
You must be really proud of the way the team's performed in the last 7 games. You played some of the best teams, City away, obviously, that tactical change, but then Liverpool twice, blew Chelsea away here. You must be really proud of the way the team's approaching playing some of the biggest teams.
Yes, the boys are fantastic. Also, the spirit for professional side on this level in the dressing room is really second to none. And yes, we always give everything, and also physically we go over the line. Also today, it was necessary, and to be competitive more or less in each and every Premier League game is always a good sign. Meanwhile, a bit more effective was in the opponent's box, and we got more points. We had also many good performances in the beginning of the season, but right now also the effectiveness and the clinical edge in the opponent's box today could have been a bit better, but nevertheless, we're on a good path.
You've had to plan this busy period carefully, rotating your team, Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the last game. You've said how much you trust this squad. How prepared are you for Newcastle at St James's Park next?
Yes, right now we have to recover smart, and also another midweek game. At least we have 3 proper nights between the games. So let's hope that 1 or 2 players are available. My most important player, our captain, number 2, will come back. That's definitely a positive. I hope, of course, that a few other lads will come back pretty soon. And then we go again. We have 1 more game before there's a little time to breathe when there's the FA Cup, more or less. But for this game, we want to invest again everything and try everything to stay unbeaten.
It is one of English football's most ferocious rivalries. The Roses battle renewed at Elland Road as a resurgent Leeds United looked to extend their unbeaten run against a Manchester United side desperate for points in the chase for the top 4. It was a scrappy, old-fashioned start in West Yorkshire, physical, tense, and tight. Chances were at a premium in the first half, with defenses on top and nerves jangling in the cold January air. But just past the hour mark, the game exploded into life. Brendan Aronson driving through the midfield, finding the space, and finding the bottom corner. Elland Road erupts. Leeds take the lead in the derby. The lead, however, lasted just 3 minutes. The substitute Joshua Zirkzee making an instant impact, slipping it through for Matheus Cunha. A tidy finish. Manchester United hit back immediately, 1-1. A chaotic and breathless finale saw chances at both ends, but neither side could find the winner. The spoils are shared in a fiery encounter at Elland Road. It ends Leeds United 1, Manchester United 1.